Hey everyone, it's time to talk about rumors, Mardi Gras, the Cowfish, and more. From the Bob Varley studio, this is the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. This is the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition, episode 20. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Universal vacation, whether you need round-trip transportation to and from Disney or a vacation package. Visit them on the web at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the brand new revamped Universal Edition of the Diz Unplugged. I am your host, Craig Williams, and this time around I am joined by some new people. Well, not new. Well, somewhat new, but joined with
varying levels of new.
Yeah, varying levels of new. I'm joined with Jenny Lynn. Nope. Nop. Nope.
Let's go. Nop.
Nope. Leslie
Nope.
Nope here.
Leslie Nope. Nop. I'm
Oh, dear.
her. She's on one side of me, and then on the other side of me is a newcomer, Rhino, Ryan Rhino Clavin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clavin. You said
Clavin?
that with such a old world accent.
You know what? Well, I'm banking it 2 for 2 right now. So we'll get back to you in a little bit. But then, of course, in the back, as always, is the producer of the Diz Unplugged various editions. I'm not going to mess this one up. Dustin T. West.
That is my name.
Nailed it.
You could have gone with Diane Weist.
I was just going to say, I thought it was of the Weist family.
You know what? There's lots of ways to pronounce stuff. I choose my own. Everyone marches to a different drum and beat and all that jazz. But yeah, so on my right, of course, is our newcomer, Rhino.
Yeah.
Glad you could join us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you're going to be a great addition to the team, hopefully. And if you're not, then I'm sure you'll disappear just as quickly. So do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself? I think everyone else knows us for the most part, but who are you?
Who am I? I don't know. God, I've been asking myself that question for the last... I was just going to say my age, but I'll keep it quiet.
Wonderful.
So many years, yeah. Who am I? I don't know where to start in with this. I'm a newly graduated student. It's taken me about 10 years, so I just graduated from UCF with a film degree. So that's very exciting. Looking to put that into some sort of a use here. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna maybe see a video from me, hopefully. I work on the side at a little bakery that just opened in the Trader Joe's Plaza in Winter Park called Jilly Cakes. So I got to say, it's a pretty rewarding job because. Who's angry about a cupcake?
Well, they look beautiful. I mean, you brought us
I
some.
bribed these guys with some. That's how I got this job. So
I'm waiting until the end of the show to actually enjoy mine because if it's a disaster, I need something to pick me back up. So, but well, thank you for telling us a little bit about yourself. We'll get you a little bit more as we go on, but I want to kind of jump into other housekeeping. First thing I want to mention for those of you watching and listening, you might be a little bit confused by all the cast that's in here, and you'll notice that Sean Thompson's missing. He is no longer a part of the Diz, and we miss him. He was a big part of getting the Universal show up and off the ground and kind of my sidekick in doing it, and we had a great 19-episode run of this, and now we're starting fresh at 20, and it should be a good time. We'll still miss him, but that is why he is no longer here. So, in other housekeeping too, I want everyone to go on YouTube and like this video.
Do it.
Unless you don't like it, and then you can hit the dislike button. As always, you have that option. Comment on that stuff. And then iTunes, go on there, review, let us know what you think. So, if it's like at 3 stars, people probably aren't going to give this a shot. But if it's at more 4 or 5, maybe they'll give us a little bit of a chance. But go out there and leave that feedback. It's good for us. It's good for you. It's good for everyone. On top of that, too, we have the brand new, as a while ago, Diz Universal site. It's pretty. And
real nice. I was just
it's
looking at it.
oh yeah, we're having new stuff come on there all the time. It's really easy to navigate. It's a good website, if I do say so myself. But I'm a little biased.
Did you make
I was
it?
gonna say, you can just say so yourself.
I didn't make it. I put in a lot of the
I
material.
mean, if you want to say 90% of the work,
We're not going to get into percentages, but I definitely had a hand in it. So go and check it out. Maybe learn about Universal, unless you don't care. But
then
why are you watching this?
Why?
And then, on Facebook, we have the Diz Universal Facebook page where we post stuff about the show, about Universal in general, lots of stuff, along with the Twitter feed. We are at Diz Universal. Follow all of us on Twitter, too. You'll see it on our lower thirds throughout the show that it has our Twitter handles on it. Like, if mine pops up right now, it's going to say Teleclaster. That's me. Go and, tweet at me. And if I respond, then consider yourself lucky.
That's celebrity status right there.
Yeah. Sure. But yeah, use all that Facebook, Twitter stuff. Don't forget about the Diz Unplugged channels as well, too, at Diz Unplugged and Facebook.com/Diz Unplugged. Get out there, do all that stuff. And get ready, because we're going to start blowing that stuff up. Harry Potter celebration, or as they call it, a celebration of Harry Potter. That is... That's coming up at the end of the month here, so it looks like we're going to have a little small team for it. Myself, JL, and Pete will be all out in the field trying to cover that. So while Dustin and Rhino are not with us,
Just writhing in jealousy.
I mean, you'll be alive. You just won't.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to a pretty awesome event too ourselves. So,
Yeah, you'll be at a wedding, but we'll be blowing up all the social media channels and going really crazy on our coverage of that. And I mean, it's celebrities, so it's going to be a good time. Definitely take the time to watch out for it. And then, of course, we're going to have coverage on this show for it. So those dates, once again, are January 29th through February 1st. January 30th through February 1st.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Are we going to be talking about what they're going to be planning to do there ahead of time, or are we saving that specifically for when we get to that show?
I think we're going to save that specifically for the show, talk about it. Because, I mean, I know there's going to be panels, the expo that they have with props and all the jazz. And
I saw like a dueling wizard thing on what am I talking about? Billboard on the road the other day that it was like, learn to duel like a wizard.
Yeah.
And I was
They
like,
have like
oh,
seminars
I thought that was
and
cool.
presentations.
It's actually awesome. I got to take part in that last year.
Oh.
I believe the gentleman's name is Paul Harris, and he was the choreographer from the 5th movie on.
Oh, wow.
On how to do wand combat.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, anytime any wand combat happens in the films, they have to follow the strict procedures and how they can actually duel. They can't just go out there and
Just flick of the wrist.
flick. They can't do that. There are like actual serious positions you have to go on in.
It's serious.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Emphasis on serious.
Yeah, we have a YouTube
Seriously
video
serious.
of him actually showing people how to do it from last year. I mean, we're going to get to, some of us are going to get to see it in person again this year, maybe take part in it.
Me.
You, because I did it. I had to bite the bullet last year and do it, so you get to do it this year now that you're with us.
It's going to get
But-
real up in this piece.
Oh, okay.
I hope there's some good video coming from this.
It's going to be good, or it's going to be bad. It's going to be one or the other. It's too early to tell. But no, it's really, really awesome. There's just so much happening there, and we'll try to do our best to cover it all. But that's enough of the Harry Potter celebration. There are plenty of other things we need to actually start talking about, and so let's get right on it, and let's jump into the buzz. Echo.
I wish there was like an animated bee that flew out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go.
I mean, maybe
I don't
one
wish
day
that,
it will.
but yeah.
So, yeah, technology. But first up in the buzz, 2015 Mardi Gras concert lineup has been announced.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It is a good one. So yeah, they announced it earlier this week. The entire concert lineup minus 2 dates because, Universal can never just give us everything right at once. They have to leave a little bit of suspense and mystery.
Yes.
Yeah. So highlights this year: Kelly Clarkson.
That's the big one. That's the biggie.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I was telling Jenny Lynn that the first Mardi Gras concert I ever went to was the Kelly when she was here like 5 years ago. It might have been 6 years ago now, but she's amazing. The concert was so packed though, it was insanity. So I don't look forward to that part, and I'm hoping that they'll probably be more prepared this time after having. I think she was one of their like huge headliners that year, and that was 6 years ago when it was like her third album had just come out too. So it was like the beginning of a tour. Or
Yeah,
something.
after you told me this, now I'm conflicted. Like, I really wanted to go see her. I love Kelly Clarkson. She's my favorite American Idol winner. That's probably cliche, but whatever. She's the best. But I also don't want to get trampled.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for survival?
I just remember having a turkey leg and beating people off with a turkey leg. At one
Oh,
point. No,
okay.
I to be honest, like she's so good that like I didn't even fight to go into that corral area. I just kind of stood off to the side and watched.
Don't worry about it.
Can you imagine
well.
the turkey leg in the crowd? Like,
Okay. Well, Kelly Clarkson highlight. I guess we're gonna have some people going to see that.
Sorry.
Bare naked ladies.
Another good
Yeah,
one.
I
I would definitely go see that. Yeah.
Heart. Any
Yes.
Heart fans? I know Dustin and I were talking about Heart the other day.
I tell you what, Heart is currently on my turntable vinyl record player.
Oh, cool.
I love me some Heart.
Which album? Putting you on
The one that has Barracuda on it.
Oh, okay, yes. The best.
know the
Styx.
name.
I do love Styx. Renegade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. So,
My Oregato.
yeah, I mean, instead of just jumping around, I guess we could go over the whole list. February 7th,
Yeah,
Olivia
you left out
Newton-John.
Olivia. I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh, you would consider that a
Physical.
highlight?
I want. Yeah. I'll stop right there.
Okay.
One song I actually know by Olivia Newton-John.
On February 14th, Jessie J, Little Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Is that what she like? I was like,
Yeah.
Jessie J is one of those people that like when I hear the song, I'm like, oh, that's who Jessie J is.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the song.
my kids love her.
Yeah.
So is she a current performing artist versus Heart, who had their prime earlier?
Yeah. Jessie J is, she has been around, I think, since like 2011 or so. But British chick, right?
She's the cha-ching,
Yeah.
cha-ching, bubbling,
I was
bubbling.
gonna say it's something with change. I was thinking
Yeah.
about change. Like I don't know. Again,
She's
it's one of those
interesting.
things I hear it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Jessie J.
My kids
okay.
are obsessed with that song, or were back in the whatever a few years ago.
Good for your kids. February 15th, Bare Naked Ladies. Already discussed them. 21st, Kelly Clarkson. 28th, Heart. That's jumping us straight into March. March 7th, little Trace Adkins for you country fans. No? Okay. Moving
thanks.
on. March 13th, that's an exciting one. It's TBD. Have you ever heard of them?
Big TBD fan.
TBD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my uncle had TBD.
Oh, okay. Well, is he still with us? Yeah. Wonderful.
That's an Arrested Development reference.
I was just gonna say, didn't they do a charity fundraiser for him? He had those hair plugs, right?
So to be determined still. March 14th, Styx. March 15th, American Authors, which Dustin informed me they're the ones who think this is going to be the best day of our lives.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
there we go. We're putting it together. March 20th, Becky G.
Is that Jessie J's cousin?
It must be. Clever. March 21st, Yonda.
Nope.
It's
Nope.
another one I feel like.
I'm still stuck on Kelly Clarkson.
Well, March 22nd, get ready, the B-52s.
Okay.
Oh no, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
On the
was
phone.
there the other day, and the SpongeBob SquarePants like parade thing came out,
Yeah.
and they started blaring Rock Lobster, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. Like,
I think
too
it's going to
much.
be a solid show. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
they're-
definitely.
I mean,
B-52s.
Are they still in shape? Are they...
I
I
think
don't
they
know. Do you
like
care?
did an active like actual tour like within the last 5 years. I feel like I saw something on like Good Morning America or something where they were performing. I remember thinking like it was around that time that I think like it was either like Pat Benatar or some other like 80s people had like gotten together and they're like, everybody's doing it, let's get back to work, you know, like so we'll see.
Wonderful. March 28th, another TBD.
Well, they're coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back. It's so
Encore
popular.
performance.
They're doing an encore performance. April 4th, we have the All-American Rejects.
Yay.
I mean, they're historically now they are kind of rejects because no one cares about them anymore.
However, they are the closest thing that even resembles my actual taste in music.
Yeah, they're
So
good.
that's-
Well, you know what I have to say to you?
What's
Move
that?
along. Move along.
Another reference to their lyrics.
We're getting very punny today. April 11th, the band Perry, I guess another country act, a popular country act.
Yeah, it is.
right
They
now.
are very popular.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say they had to specify they weren't the platypus in here, like and Perry. I'm sorry, when I don't know what it is.
Wrong show.
Well, and then April 18th, it's ending off with a bang, Trey Songz.
I like Trey Songz.
I mean, that's good. I don't know what he does,
He
but
sings.
oh, well, I would expect
He
him
sings
to.
well.
They
Yeah.
threw a magician in here just as a curveball for the last
They really should. It is just surprising. Pitbull did not make the list at all, which I think it's like a first in years. He hasn't
because
played.
he was here.
It's
He was, yeah, I was gonna say,
disappointing,
wasn't Nelly here last year? That was a bit. Wasn't I think that was one of the TBDs
Yeah.
or something one year. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Pitbull still might come and fill in for one of the to be determined.
I have fingers crossed for that.
God, he's so horrible.
No, he's not. I like Pitbull.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that they like. It's not all one genre of music for Mardi Gras. It's like a nice mix. Like I've seen Kelly Clarkson there now. I saw like Lifehouse and Matchbox 20, and now we're talking about going to see Kelly Clarkson again.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
B-52s.
You know, yeah.
I'll put my hair in a
it's
beehive
good-
for it and everything.
So, and of course, the concerts at Mardi Gras are free, included with your ticket, like everything else. You don't have to buy an extra ticket on top of it for like a paid event like Halloween Horror Nights or some of the
Yeah.
events that happen at Disney. So it's, I mean, you've got to imagine you pay $100 for that ticket, and all of a sudden you get a free concert, and they go on for about an hour. That's such a great deal.
That's what I was so surprised about. Is it wasn't like 4 or 5 songs. It was like she did a whole set and then some. Like,
And we've all done it apparently.
Yeah.
Dustin, you haven't been to one.
I haven't,
before?
but that's one of the reasons why it appeals to me is, you think about that's included in your admission, whereas Disney does something similar for like the Sounds Like Summer concert series or whatever, but the caliber of performers here at Universal seems much higher.
Yeah.
Well, at least their popularity, I should say. I don't know about the caliber
They're
of their
more
music.
current.
They put on a like I feel like their shows are a lot bigger. Like last year I went to Adam Lambert too, and I have to say like he's a great performer. Like it was a really good because it's that full size stage and it's a real like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a different atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a big event. It happens on that Universal Music Studios Plaza stage. It has 6 different names, but it's a really good time. And I mean, Mardi Gras in general is just great. The parade's
awesome.
The
Yeah.
food's terrible, but everything else about it is a really good time. So we'll be, of course, going to a couple shows, I'm sure, and come back talking about it. But let's wrap that up with Mardi Gras and jump into the next buzzing story, the celebration of Harry Potter social media meetup,
Yeah.
which you know nothing about, I know.
No, I have never been to it.
Well, it's because it's new this year.
Oh, well, there you
it's
go.
actually-
And I have a valid reason.
I know. So for the past 2 weeks, Universal's been running this special contest through all of their social media channels, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Oh, as in
Well,
social
the
media.
big 3.
Social media, the big 3 social medias.
Hence the name.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're giving away passes for this meetup that they're going to have on the first night of the Harry Potter celebration. And so on each channel, they're picking 6 people. So like on Twitter, you had to say, I wish to enter my vault, hashtag Harry Potter celebration, and you had a chance to win one of the 6 passes. On Facebook, you had to respond to a picture of the Sorting Hat with what house you're in. And then on Instagram, it's happening actually today, they posted a picture of warm butterbeer. And if you like it, then you have a chance to win it. So if you're watching live, get on your phone and go to Instagram and take it. Well, if you're with us, then technically you're not eligible to win.
I guess
But
it doesn't count, right?
yeah,
For Spirit, I think warm butterbeer is amazing, and I would like it just.
you would
Just
like
a
it just
picture
to
of it.
like it.
Just 'cause.
And if you won, that's bonus.
Have you
Give
guys
it away.
tried the warm butterbeer?
This weekend for the first time, it was. I think it became my new favorite. I thought it was going to be really heavy, and it was actually like I enjoyed it a lot.
I had it last
good.
year.
Oh, they did it
So-
last year too.
They did it during the Harry Potter celebration weekend last year.
Oh, so it was like an
and
exclusive?
It was like a little test thing. So some people got to try it, others didn't. And once they ran out, it was out. It's okay.
Frozen's still my favorite.
See, I'm just a cold butterbeer kind of guy.
Well, I'm wondering if like I'm assuming, not wondering that this is just going to be like this time of year, but it's on like the menu, like it's written on the permanent menu board. So I don't know.
I think
but-
it'll be a year-round item now. But so you have a chance to still go out and win one of the 18. Can't do math off the top of my head. Win one of those passes. If you actually win, it's kind of cool. They give you a free 1-day 2-park ticket for that first day, so you can go in and you can experience a little bit of the parks. And then at some point in time, they're actually meeting up in Diagon Alley, and you get to walk through Escape from Gringotts with Alan Gilmore. He was the art director on a lot of the Harry Potter movies, and then he also helped build the Wizarding World and kind of help plan the entire design. So, and he's just going to be talking to everyone in that little small group and giving them all the details. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And then further down in, you're also going to get a chance to talk to Mina Lima. It's a design group. They were here for the celebration weekend last year. They did basically every single print design or just anything you see in the Harry Potter movies. If it had typography in it, the Marauders map, that was their complete creation.
That's awesome.
Anything in the newspapers, that's all theirs.
Right.
So then they walk around and they point out a little more details, and then there's supposed to be more surprises. I'm guessing maybe like two of the celebrities, and then you'll get to go on the ride.
That's
So
awesome.
It might not be a celebrity, but I think that would be nice.
I think just the walkthrough would be amazing because there's just like, every time I go in there, it's just the attention to detail in there is incredible. Like when I was just wandering, I see a new thing every time. Like I didn't see the monster book before, and that was like moving in the window, and I was just like, it's just they nailed it. So like to walk
really
around with
have.
the person who's like in charge of that, it just sounds like a really awesome like contest.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a beautiful area. So if you have not entered into it at all yet, you still have a chance today. I don't know how long the contest runs. I think it's just a 1 day for each thing. But still doesn't hurt to try. So get out there and do that if
I
you want
have
to
a
take part in
random
it.
question.
Yeah.
Have you been sorted into a house?
Oh, it's a big question.
Technically, I have on Pottermore, and I was a Gryffindor, but since I also used to work at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, I sorted myself into Slytherin.
I don't think that's how
So-
it works, Craig.
The
no, that is
Sorcerer's
how it
Hat.
works.
She
You
hasn't
don't
watched the
sort
movies
yourself?
yet. She doesn't know.
I watched some of them.
You don't know. The 7th one at the very end.
No,
Harry tells us.
no spoilers.
Technically, Harry told the Sorting Hat he wanted to be in Gryffindor, and that's how it happened. So I could have done the same thing.
Because we were going to put him in a Slytherin. That's in the first movie.
Don't worry, that's like in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's not a spoiler.
Is it weird that I haven't watched all the movies, but I know what I'm sorted into? I didn't sort myself though.
You're what I like to
on
call a phony.
I'm working on it, guys. I'm supposed
I'm
to be in
excited for your
Ravenclaw.
journey.
Thanks. You're
Well,
taking it with me.
No, I'm
Get
going
on,
to cry a lot.
get on
I hope you're ready for
Pottermore
that.
and actually
I did. I'm trying to
You
tell
did?
you that.
Oh,
I'm in
okay.
Ravensclaw.
So
Ravensclaw.
Ravenclaw? Is it
Ravenclaw.
is it plural?
that one apartment, Ravensclaw.
I don't know.
It's like when they're condo associations instead of houses. I actually went to the New York exhibition last year to see like the props and everything that they had going around, and they would sort you with the hat there. I didn't go up and do it.
I was
But
gonna say, what
They-
are you sorted into?
I'm Gryffindor.
Oh,
They actually do that at the expo too. So
Oh,
they'll have
cool.
the sorting hat out there. They'll be sorting people. So
oh, then I can be official. Then I
You-
can do it
yes.
in an official way.
you can finally get it done officially.
You should
okay,
watch them
everybody,
before
stay
you go.
tuned. We'll
so you
figure
can-
out what I am.
Yeah, and watch. You need to watch at least some of these before you go, so you can get be midway and really excited about your thing.
just take the week off.
It'll happen.
And you'll be good.
I'm good with that.
But that's enough Harry Potter. This show is always about Harry
There's
Potter.
never enough.
There's enough. I'm deeming it. There's enough Harry Potter right now. Let's jump into some rumors though.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited to
for
talk
this.
about rumors. So, going to kind of go down in a lift order. Stuff that we know is a little more concrete than others, but let's jump off right away. Kong may be coming back to Universal over at Islands of Adventure.
Can I just tell you how excited I am about this? I obviously late bloomer as far as Universal stuff goes. So I missed the whole original Kong thing. But it sounded like a big deal. So I'm glad it's coming back. And then I will have a chance to experience it in some capacity.
It's funny because like when I was a kid, the first ride, like I was always like sit on the bench with grandma because I'm a wimp. Like, and finally I was like at Universal Studios when I was a kid. I was like, I'm doing this Back to the Future ride. There's no way I'm not going to get in this time machine with Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Like, and so I did it, and I was like, I can do anything. And then we got to the King Kong ride, and I was like, except for this. And because I like as a kid, I'm like, I'm not going in there. That's way too high. And my mom tried to explain to me, it's like not that high off the ground. It just looks like it is. And I'm like, nope, you've tricked me before. You got me on a flume ride once, and I didn't think there was a drop. Like, so I never got to go on it. And then
apparently when you were a kid, you were a 40-year-old Boston guy.
well, I am from Massachusetts, but yeah, my voice actually went up. The older you get. I can't wait to see what I'll sound like at 45.
Well, Craig, as far as the rumor goes, is it going to be the same thing or is it going to be different?
Well, okay, we'll get into that right now.
I was going to say, I think that we're talking about that. That would be the topic of the minute. Let's
do it. So right now, of course, they're expecting it to go in the construction area that's happening right between Toon Lagoon and Jurassic Park. They even took out one of the Jurassic Park arches just so they could hopefully make this fit in a little bit better. So that's like the first idea that it's not a Jurassic Park related ride going in there. It's something else. I never thought that Kong would actually go in that area because Islands of Adventure is all about literature and books, and that's basically what every single island is themed on. So to put Kong in there, still doesn't make sense because that is pure movie. There was never a book about it. It's always been movies, Universal movies. So at least they're not going and jumping on the third party bandwagon again, but it still doesn't make sense.
Maybe the book's coming later.
It doesn't make sense to me either because like everything in that what I like about Islands of Adventure is every place, every island is like multiple things themed to that, theme to it. And so like it's just kind of like they're wedging King Kong into one of my all-time favorite franchises. Like, isn't it? I'm feeling a little like, get away from my dinosaurs.
And that's why I'm hoping.
Get your monkey out of here.
That's why I'm hoping this is still just pure speculation and rumor. I know it's got a lot of gravity behind it, and people are really expecting that to actually come in. But I don't think it fits in there. But
I'm just hoping it's. I would have loved to have them to be like proactive about the new Jurassic Park movie, and I know. You would mention, maybe you didn't mention it yet, and I'm just seeing it in my piece of paper right now, but that it was going to be similar to the Kong ride that was in Hollywood?
Well, that's where I'll get to. Right now, they're kind of expecting it to be a mixture between Kong 360 from the Studio Tram Tour over at Universal Studios Hollywood, which is an amazing portion of their tram ride. You get completely encapsulated with screens all around you, and you throw on your 3D glasses, and then they kind of they play clips that were created specifically for this that show the King Kong versus the dinosaur scene from the actual 2005 King Kong movie. But they're not expecting this ride to just be that. They're also expecting it to have an actual animatronic Kong, just like the old ride had. So it'd be kind of a nice mixture of the two. And I think it could be really well done, and it could actually warrant being its own ride. But I still just don't see how it fits in that area of the park. Anywhere over in the studios, perfect.
Well, it's just a one-off to me. Like, I mean, there's not enough land there. I mean, they could retheme one of the other restaurants, I guess, but I just don't feel like there's enough. I don't know if mythology is the word I'm looking for, but like King Kong is a movie that has a legacy and stuff, but it's like these couple of movies. It is our Godzilla, but like, I just don't feel the same way about it. Like, you can do as much with it. It's great that if it is a one-off, but like, it just, I don't know. We'll see. If I'm worried they're gonna like retheme that whole area to be like enchanted beasts or something like that, and like it'll be, here's your dinosaurs, here's your giant monkey, here's your
other dinosaurs.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, more dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean that construction area is going up really quickly. It started from, I think that was about 6 months ago, and they're almost in a full building. Completely.
Oh, wow.
Like they are flying along with it. So I'm sure we'll get an announcement soon. But another area actually just got walled up over at Universal Studios, not at Islands, but the Garden of Allah Villas.
I saw this the other day. Those walls went up out of nowhere. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go walk through that area because I was like it because it looks like the Three's Company apartments.
Well,
It does,
Such a
doesn't
weird
it?
thing, but like I was like, Jack, Chrissy.
it's a really
Where's Mr. Roper?
he's
Mr. Roper.
standing up there.
I'm Mr. Roper. I'm wearing my scarf while I'm doing that. You don't know it. I'm just a crazy person in the park.
I was waiting for Dustin to do one of his impressions.
I don't have any impressions. I didn't really watch that show, to be honest with you.
You know Don
Oh,
Knotts,
what?
don't
Yeah, you have
That's
to have a Don
Knotts
Knotts
is Mr.
one.
Roper.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Whoa, Mr. Roper.
Why are there so many ostriches?
Yeah, so Garden of Allah Villas, they're being completely walled up right now, which I always used it as a little bit of a shortcut to get from Hollywood over to Kid Zone, which I don't usually have a lot of reason to go to Kid Zone, but when I do, that's what I used as my shortcut. Can't do it anymore, but it's really cool because right now the pure speculation is that those walls have gone up so that can be converted into a museum to help celebrate Universal Studios' 25th anniversary, which is something that should be celebrated. I mean, 25
I
years,
agree.
that's not a...
It's a milestone.
That's a pretty good milestone, if I do say so myself.
25 years later, I feel like they're on their way to being like back on top of their game again. So it'd be a perfect time to bring out something like that.
Yeah, they might as well. They over in Hollywood, they actually kind of have an exhibit that celebrates all of the Universal movies, and they show props. That's where the
that's
actual
cool.
one of the hero DeLoreans is, just like sitting right there in the middle of the room. It's an amazing exhibit, and then they do have a wall dedicated to the backlot tour history and how Universal kind of turned into the theme park that it is today out there. But to have something like that in Universal Studios Florida first it eats a lot of people because you constantly have someone walking in there to check it out, but they need to show off the park as it used to be because it has changed. It went from that same model that MGM kind of had back in the day of, this is a working studio, but we're also opening it up for people to come in, and then a couple attractions here and there, but it's more of a look of what this studio would look like in operation and how it actually all jives together. And it has changed into primarily a theme park and lost that message. But to have something to show off what it was in its glory days, and then even throw in other Universal movie props and stuff, that sounds neat to me. I feel like I would be in there
That's
all the
my
time.
favorite.
I was gonna say, I think that's a good place to put it too, because
Yeah.
I've always walked by the Gardens of Allah and
I'm just like,
got confused.
what are they
and,
there?
Oh, okay, what's that? You know what? I don't really care. Never mind. And kept walking. I just
go over there to play Three's Company, like I said. I was like, there has to be a reason this is here, and I'm just the person who is always trying to figure it out.
I guess in the past they had put little exhibits or even at one time a store in there, but it's been basically sitting vacant since I've started attending Universal Studios. So it really needs to have something done to that area. I hope they don't get rid of the buildings themselves.
They're
They
cool.
fit in
Yeah.
so wonderfully, but I would. So you'd both like a museum?
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, I love that.
definitely.
Like I said, I used to come to this park all the time when I was a kid when we'd come down for vacation, and it's funny you were just saying that. Like I just was thinking like, oh, I remember when not Universal Studios, Nickelodeon was a thing, and like the GAC and the shows, and I was like, man, it'd be neat to see like a showcase of like where we were, where we are, and then on top of that, I love movie stuff, so I'm all about
Exactly.
seeing those props.
That's why
And
I
feel
love
like
going
there's
to
not
places
enough of it.
like Planet Hollywood just to see the actual things that were involved in the making of all the things that we watch and grow up, that touch our lives.
Yeah, and I mean, I never got to see it in its old glory days, like you said with Nickelodeon and stuff. And it's really actually hard. I mean, with Google searches, you can find old pictures, and using the Wayback Archive machine, you can see the website how it was back in the late 90s. So you still can't get that idea of like that classic period when we were growing up.
Yeah.
So it would be really cool to have someplace to actually see these pictures, see what it was like, and it's necessary.
Yeah,
Good move.
I agree.
that.
Absolutely.
Good move.
So let's hope that one actually comes true. While we're in the studios, we'll briefly mention it just
Oh,
because it's been talked about for a long time, but the rumor has recirculated again that Star Trek might be coming back. Well, not coming back, but being put into the actual theme parks.
This is the thing, right?
I thought you were raising your hand.
I was like, I was waiting for you to ask your question.
I would love.
My question is, do we have to do this? I mean, like, I don't really.
Yeah, if
Star
you're
Trek. Is anybody into Star Trek?
Are you into? I love. I was just about to be like, I would die if there was
Really?
a Star Trek exhibit. Yeah. I feel like the new Star Treks are amazing, and I love old Star Trek too. Like I this last summer I tried to watch it all like chronologically, and I got through Enterprise and then stopped at the second season of original series. But
Dedication.
But yeah. But I think it would be really cool, especially the rumor was that like they had that I forget what it was called in Las Vegas, the like hotel had that like Star Trek experience.
Okay, yeah.
And they were saying that there was originally like plans to add or replace it with like some Starfleet Academy, so it would be like you were training to become a Starfleet officer. And so the rumor I saw was like I think it all started with like a tweet of concept art that was like from Las Vegas, and now somebody just attached the word Orlando to it. And
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been circulating in and out for as long as I can remember that something Star Trek, well, in the new version of Universal Studios where we're putting in stuff like Transformers and all that. And the other one that keeps popping up every time talk about rumors is Lord of the Rings going in somewhere over, especially at Islands of Adventure.
I could get into that.
But they're never gonna do it. I mean, even you would see like Warner Brothers walking around parks, and everyone would get really, or not Warner Brothers, New Line. Sorry, New Line would come and be like, "Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." Like, well, no, movie producers like to go look at theme parks too. They're normal people. Everyone likes to enjoy this stuff.
You're not allowed.
So I mean, Star Trek probably won't ever happen. I don't see it happening.
I hope it happens somewhere in the world if it doesn't happen at Universal. I'm just saying.
It's rumored that it would go in, it would replace Shrek, which doesn't make sense because there's other stuff that needs to go first, but it wouldn't, you would just be watching a movie. It doesn't lend itself. That Star Trek would need a nice simulator attraction, like Star Tours.
Cool queue, like something that you could go through. I imagine like how they did Transformers, like how you go through that queue and you've got all that. Like it would be the same idea. You're moving through the Enterprise or something like that. So like it's not enough. I think they've done some things that are great, but it's just not a big enough spot either for them to be like, let's do it. So it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't expect that one. But the final rumor we're going to talk about, which is all but confirmed basically at this point, over in City Walk last year, at the end of the year, we lost the beloved NASCAR Sports Grill, which I know JL was always a fan of that one.
I know, I'm really broken up about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's gone. It doesn't look like itself anymore. It's completely gutted on the inside. They've removed every trace that place ever existed, except in our minds and hearts.
I still cry into my pillow every night as I go to sleep.
I bet you do.
Where am I going to watch the
bet you do.
games?
Well,
races?
Where are you going to watch races games?
Where am I going to watch the race games?
It's expected that they're going to convert that into an NBC Sports Arena restaurant. So there's only one of these up in Philadelphia right now, but it's basically the ESPN zone of NBC Sports, which Comcast owns NBC, Comcast owns Universal. It all works together. It's a nice, big, happy family, but you're going to have a multitude of screens, and you're going to be able to watch sports games and get some food. So it's just almost, hopefully it will be NASCAR with the same type of, vibe, that great sports bar with a lot of TVs, but just not NASCAR at all.
I'm so happy to hear this. I will be able to sleep at nights now.
Yeah. I'm glad. No, the City Walk can't completely erase like that big sports bar to go hang out at, because you go over there on a Sunday and that place was always jammed out the door because people want to watch their games, and especially for football on Sundays, like I just repeated for some reason, but it was packed on those big events, so they have to continue to.
Well, people who
get that
people who
market.
come on vacation, like think about like you plan your family vacation during the Super Bowl, you've got somewhere to go where you can like enjoy it. And Universal's great about that diversity of stuff. I feel like so to get rid of the sports themed section, I think would be like a misstep.
I mean, they still have NBA City, but that's basically rumored as the next one on the chopping block in terms of restaurants. Which good riddance.
I don't think I've ever been there.
I will be honest, I have never eaten in there, and I'm sure we will go before it's closed to do a review of it, but I am not looking forward to
The
it
big
at all.
statues scare me away. I don't know.
Professional basketball is the only sport that I just absolutely do not care about. So,
See, now that's one that I can actually understand. I used to actually be a basketball cheerleader.
Wonderful.
I get the basic concept. I can get into basketball to a degree.
yeah. But, I mean, I think the NBC Sports Arena is going to go into either location if NBA City was to actually close down. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is all rumors. So nothing has been confirmed yet, which is sad. But one day maybe. And I think with that will do it for the Buzz. And we are going to move on to a little mid-show fun.
I enjoyed this section. Yeah.
So right now we don't have any contests or anything running yet. We're still in the works with that. But I thought since this is the first show of the year and we're going to cover a lot of stuff, we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's talk about our actual resolution for what we want to do / accomplish at Universal in general over the next year. So I'm gonna kick it off with a little JL.
Well, my universal resolution, we've kind of already touched on it, and that is to watch all of the Harry Potter movies because I have not watched all of them. I'm probably going to get flamed for that, but I've watched like the first 4, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. I just feel like it's time. I'm probably about a decade behind the rest of the world, but whatever, better late than never. And
Exactly.
And I'm gonna get into it. I love this stuff at Universal, even Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, even without having the background knowledge of the story. But I feel like it's just time, and that way I can connect with what's going on in the park a little bit better.
I think you're gonna have like a fun while you're watching it. Like now that you've been to Diagon Alley, that you're gonna start watching those movies because this is what happened to me. Like I watched the 7th one before the opening, and then afterwards that next like 2 weeks I watched them all in a row because I was like, I don't think I've ever done that before. And like, of course, I'm just crying by myself in my room a lot. But like, there was the moment in I think it's the first movie when Harry walks into Diagon Alley for the first time, and I haven't seen that one in years, and I just was like, oh my God, like I could not believe, like I was like, I had stood in this place and I couldn't believe it looked exactly like it had, like, because in the later movies you're in different parts of it and it's darker or whatever, but there was just this one shot where straight up the middle and it was like, there's Gringotts and it looks, just incredible.
I think
you'll have a fun experience doing that.
I think it really speaks to the theme park that they can build something like that and then inspire someone to go back and watch the movie rather than vice versa, rather than the people and the fans of the movie just going to the park, to see it in real life, but seeing it in real life and then thinking, hey, you know what? I think I want to go back and watch that movie.
Well,
so
I can't wait for you to actually do that and then tell us what you think of it. It'll be fun.
You need to like blog about it as you do it.
Yeah.
Like you should be
Live
writing
blog.
this down because
live blog.
Live tweet, live blog.
it's like video on
JL's
YouTube for 2.5
stream of
hours while you watch
consciousness.
the movie.
Nobody wants to be subjected to that.
Wonderful. Rhino, what about you? What's your resolution?
This was a tough one for me. I love Universal so much. One of my personal resolutions this year was to travel to California. I've been trying to do it for the last few years. I got a couple of friends out there, and I was like, I want to go to Universal Hollywood. I want to I want to go to Disneyland while I'm out there too. But like specifically Universal Hollywood, I've always wanted to go. For here, I was going to say ride an outdoor roller coaster. Because
that is so happening.
Yeah, I almost talked myself into going on Dueling Dragons a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what it is about outdoor roller coasters. I kind of have a fear of heights, and I want to live to be over 100, so I get nervous. But like, I wanted it to be something a little more ongoing than that too, in case I do happen to bite it on one of the rides. But so I've decided I'm going to try every time I eat at the park or get a drink, I want to try something different, like something I haven't had before. And I know we're doing like reviews and stuff like that of restaurants, but I want it to be like, oh, here's a cool drink they have here, and here's a cool food item, like something like that, you know, like something different instead of just keep going to the same place.
Can I be with you when you ride your roller coaster for the first time?
Yeah, we'll have to get some sort of like camera or something, because it is not going to be
Dueling Dragons is a great way to start. That's not it's a pretty decent one.
Well, I was watching the Hulk and I was like, no. I'm never going to do Rip Ride Rockit. I'm going to say that right now. Although I don't want to like cut to this wherever from here and the video screaming. Of me saying this and then so we'll see.
Dustin? Resolution.
Well, first of all, I wanted to add on to what JL and then Rhino were kind of talking about with Harry Potter. You're talking about Diagon Alley and how awesome that is and how inspiring it is for you to, go back and watch the movies. Well, we had a chance when we were out in London on our way to Italy to go to the Leavesden Studios, the Warner Brothers Studios out in London. And let me tell you, even though the Universal version is a little bit larger in scale, it is absolutely accurate to what you saw, from the original movie props and the original movie sets. They did a wonderful job with it. So I'm really happy to have those two experiences under my belt. For my resolution, I would probably say that I need to experience Mardi Gras this year. As mentioned before, I have yet to experience Mardi Gras. I don't know if that's just been circumstance that I haven't had a chance to go over there, but I don't have an aversion to it. But especially with some of the bands you were mentioning and the parade and everything, I got to check it out this year. I would be very regretful if I missed Mardi Gras another year in a row.
I'm going to challenge you to a bead contest when we go. We'll see who leaves.
I was just going to say the key word is beads.
That's for
I'm queen of beads.
That's for the parade where they throw beads at you.
just the universal version.
They whip beads at your face.
Oh yeah, like they pick a family, I think, that goes in the float sometimes, and they're just like, whoa, like you got to be like on point, with get the fingers out, grabbing the beads.
I got to be the queen last year for one of the parades. It was super fun. So I got to toss the beads and at another point catch the beads.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's fun. I've gotten to do the beads too, and it's a great time. Hopefully we'll get to do that. Yeah. Annual pass holders get to sign up for a specific. You get to choose dates, and then hopefully they get one of them. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. It'd be fun.
That would be cool.
Wait, what do you mean?
If you're an annual pass holder, once Mardi Gras comes close, then they'll announce like, "Hey, go and sign up if you want to try to get the chance to ride on a float."
To be on a float.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing that. Yeah, we are doing that.
So my resolution is boring but important. I need to finally go and sit through an entire showing of A Day in the Park with Barney.
I didn't even realize that was a thing still until you wrote that in your resolution.
It still is, and I've never experienced it all the way through. I feel like I should.
Good luck with that.
Okay.
How long
I think I'm not joining in on that one.
How long is it?
The show itself, 20 minutes.
Oh,
I didn't even know that it
He
existed.
shudders.
I didn't even know that existed until we went to Halloween Horror Nights this past year, and one of the houses required you to walk through the Barney
in the queue.
I would have loved it if they had like a demented Barney in the way there.
I feel that I might need to steal a kid to go into the show and not.
I thought you were going to say in the show.
No, I'm not going to steal a kid at the show, but I need to steal like Ferris or Finley, and once I get them, then I can actually go in. But I can't even imagine that they wouldn't even want to sit through that. No one wants to sit through Barney anymore. But
is Barney still is he still on? Like, is that a thing? Like, I mean, my sister was really into Barney, but she's like 23 years old now. Like,
I don't believe it's on anymore, but I also don't watch PBS regularly. But that's my resolution. We'll see if I do it. Okay. And with that, let's jump into our Spotlight on the Universe, which this week is a dining review. Oh, we tried out the Cowfish Orlando. And yeah, we did try that one out.
We sure did.
I had gotten to go to all the press events leading up to it where we got to learn a little bit more about it. So going into it, my impressions of the restaurant, my pre-impressions, if you will, they were like really hyped up, but I attended all these events. I don't think anyone else really knew about it before going into it. So why don't someone just jump in and let me know what your initial impressions were? How about you, Dustin?
Oh, yeah.
Well, sorry, I had muted my microphone. I apologize. my initial impressions of the entire Cowfish experience is very positive. I really liked the vibe. The food was good, and yeah, I really like the vibe there. That's a encapsulated, you know.
I don't know how I heard about it. I think it was just I was literally like in walking around City Walk, and they had like the like the drapes or whatever down that say like, well, coming soon, and it said like burger sushi bar, and then I was like, oh, a burger sushi, but then I was like, together, like so I was just like, I love like whenever I go to New York, we try and find out like where's the the Top Chef contestant that has the restaurant here or whatever, like, and my boss at the bakery, she was on Cupcake Wars, and she does like interesting stuff. Like, I love when people stick to what they did on the show, or they like experiment with stuff like that, fusion stuff especially. Like, and so I was just like super excited. I didn't have to look at anything. I just knew when it opened, I was going. And yeah, that's all I'll say for now, because I got a lot to say later.
What about you, JL?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. We all heard the news when Cowfish opened up, and I saw the coverage. I didn't go to any of the events, but I saw the coverage, and it sounded like a really fun, cool, unique concept. I really like that. So I was, I figured at some point sooner or later I was going to get there. I was excited about the idea, and yep.
Yeah. Well, we went there for a dinner service, if you will, and and before we get too far into what it was actually like, we actually do have a little video of kind of our experience there that night. It's edited just quite a bit. But Dustin, why don't we go ahead and roll that?
All right.
Well, that was the Cowfish. I guess we can just go home.
I'm going to go to Cowfish. I'm not going to.
So, for those who don't understand, yeah, it is a burger sushi bar with their signature creation, burgushi, which you have to say putting your fingers together.
It's a thing.
It's their role that you have to say it together like that. And they've got a lot of different fusion sushi, really creative craft burgers, and then burgushi, which is a mixture of burger items and sushi items kind of in different combinations. And it's a really interesting place. The restaurant's absolutely massive. You have to take either the stairs or an elevator to get up to the second floor, which is the first floor. And then from there, you have two bars on that floor. You have the main big bar on the inside, and then there's also an outdoor patio bar And then there's also on that second floor, there is a sushi bar that you can also sit at. And all those are just walk right up. Anything else, you'll have to get a table, except unless you go up to the third floor where there is yet another bar that you can just walk up to at any time and a bunch more seating. I mean, this place is just absolutely massive. I think, in my opinion, at least it is. And the atmosphere is really a little bit hectic at times during dinner service, at least. Definitely on that main floor. I thought it was overly loud almost, which I don't know how that's possible to be overly loud at a restaurant, but...
Have you been to Planet Hollywood?
I know,
I feel like I can never have a conversation.
Did you ever go to T-Rex or Rainforest Cafe?
I look around whenever I'm at those places. I don't talk to people.
The sound level when we walked in, like for our thing, that's what it reminded me of being at like Planet Hollywood or T-Rex on the first floor. So then I was glad we went up a little higher.
Yeah, upstairs was definitely quieter until we were sat next to, well, we were there first, and then a big party table group was sat beside us, and oh my goodness,
they were very happy.
The shouting party.
They were very happy.
Yeah,
but the place has a really great energy. I mean, you walk in and it's immediately you get this feel like I'm going to have a good time. The way that it is decorated and just everyone's upbeat, the music. I love that it's multiple floors. I think that just adds a real neat element to it, and it just looks like fun.
Yeah. So we like the vibe then.
Yeah, totally.
All of us? Okay. Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, then, yes. Dustin likes the vibe too.
I do.
So, what is the next thing we're going to talk about since my iPad died? We are going
atmosphere, did we kind of touch that?
So service.
Yeah.
Let's talk about service. It's actually, they got a lot of feedback yesterday on Twitter from some bad service issues, which they are responding very rapidly to anytime someone tweets them something negative, and they're saying, come out, give us another try, let us know your information, and we'll try to make the experience better. But they're starting to get a reputation for their service being awful and completely slow. And the more I thought back onto it, we were there for about 2.5 hours for our dinner. We had appetizers, entrees, dessert, and we were there having a good time with each other.
But that's what you would expect from like a fancier restaurant that has like a multi-course meal and stuff like that, where it's paced out with wine and stuff. No, this is a burger joint. This is a burger and sushi joint. It's not fast food. It is a sit-down restaurant, but at the same time, it can be a little slow. I
went again, just briefly with a friend of mine who was walking around with me at Universal today, and he was going to try it, and I was like, I might as well go in. It must have only been open for like a couple hours because they set us on the third floor and it was empty. We were literally the only two on the third floor, and the service was fine then. But I will say, I wasn't going to say anything about it until you just brought this up. But when I walked in, there was like 3 people at the the I don't know what they're
podium?
called. And one of them was really rude to me. Like first of all, they didn't acknowledge me. So, and I give you a couple minutes. You don't have to say anything right away, but you should look up and at least say, "Oh, I'll be with you in one moment." Like that doesn't take forever. And this girl went to go start talking while looking straight ahead at me, and I thought she was going to start to say something to me. So I went up to say something, and then she just turned and ignored me. But the girl behind her saw what happened, and she went over and said, "Just one moment," and blah, blah, blah. So like this one girl, and I wish I could remember her name, saved that experience for me because I am like, it really doesn't take that much to just smile. And you don't even have to smile. It doesn't take that much to say, "Hello, I'll be with you in 1 second." Like, that's your job. Like,
yeah.
So you came from restaurants, so what was your impression?
I actually didn't have a problem with the service. I think maybe our entrees didn't come out quite as quick as we had hoped, but in general, I think other than that, our pace was pretty good. I thought that we were all having a good time. I didn't notice us, lacking for attention. My glass was always refilled. And I will say, the guy who waited on us, initially I had quite a few questions. I was trying to eat vegetarian that evening in a place called Cowfish, of all things. So I obviously had quite a few questions. He was very quick with the answers and really thorough about answering them. And the things that he couldn't answer that I asked, he just said, you know what? I'm going to find that out for you. Let me get right back with you about that. And he did. So service-wise, I was content.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I feel like we had one misstep in the whole meal, which was, I don't know if this was him or if this is something they do, but he brought the check before I don't know if it was before we got our desserts or before we ordered our desserts.
It was before we got them. We had ordered them.
Okay.
But yeah.
We were waiting on them to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just bizarre. I mean,
But I hate when people do that because what if I want another drink? Like it makes me feel like I can't have any more.
Yeah. So that was just kind of weird because it's their subtle way of saying, all right, hurry up.
Yeah, there was definitely high points to the service. I would say there's low points as well, but overall, it's still a new-ish restaurant.
Yeah.
They've been open for about 2 months now at this point, but they're going to have to take time to get into their groove.
Yeah, it does. I opened Rocco's Tacos right here in Orlando, and it takes a while for a restaurant to kind of find its groove. And everyone, managers down, they're all figuring it out. It's a new place, a new establishment, new people coming in, especially with this restaurant that's a new concept. It's probably going to take a little while. I have faith they'll pull through.
I to be honest, overall, other than the check thing, obviously, that first time we went, it might have just been we were really enjoying ourselves and we didn't notice or whatever. But I thought it was good. I just thought the waiter was a little awkward. I felt like we were in a play and he was reading us these things, which is fine. Because then I was wondering if it was just him or the service. And I think it was just how he went about memorizing it and it was new.
I had met him prior and he had the same personality. Very, very, very helpful. So
Yeah.
I think that it was genuine.
Yeah,
But
it's just a little bit of a social awkward moment. But it's true. I saw him answer your questions.
He was on point.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's actually get on to the important part, in my opinion, the food. So for appetizers, first off with the drinks, we tried to try a little specialty drinks. Will, who isn't here with us, once again, he's still alive. He's just not actually at the show. He had the Buffaloes and Bacon cocktail, which is basically a Manhattan / old fashioned, but done with a little twist and nice little candy bacon wrapped with a cherry up in the inside. I've had this drink multiple times on my other visits there. It is my absolute favorite
Trying
drink
this one
there.
next time. Yeah.
It's good. And then after that, I believe I had the Hokkaido Nights, which was a nice, refreshing cucumber type drink with vodka in it, and then I don't remember the entire list of ingredients. And
It was that good.
but it was good. No, it was very refreshing. I believe you
I
had
the backyard brew, and
Yeah.
that was like Firefly Moonshine Apple Pie and Fireball Whiskey, and then it was some. I didn't even realize there was apple juice in it and cinnamon, and the picture's right there. It looked great. It tasted great. It was, and what I thought was cool is sometimes you go to a place and you order these $10-$12 drinks and it's juice, and but this I was like. I tasted all the flavors that I wanted to taste in it. So I tasted the Fireball, I tasted the Moonshine, so I was good.
Yeah, I think specialty cocktails here is an absolute must. Their menu is so expansive on the different types of drinks they have. It's really something to try out. I know Dustin had beer, but he's a beer guy.
I'm a beer guy. They had an Orlando Brewing Company, O-Town Brown. It was great.
No, and it's a nice little brew. So JL doesn't partake in alcohol all the time. So
Not all the
you
time.
had what kind of a milkshake?
I had the cake shake, and it was awesome. I sucked that puppy down in no time flat. It was like drinking birthday cake. Can't say enough good things.
Good. So fun drinks, definitely something
Good
we should check
times.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
totally.
Appetizers. We did sushi for our appetizers in different forms because we were all planning on getting a burger or a burger type sandwich for our entrees. So
Craig, just real quick, can I say
sorry.
that in the appetizers, doing the sushi as an appetizer, if you get a roll, the rolls have like 6 to 9 pieces, some of them, so they're not appetizer size; they are full meal sized. So what we ended up doing was sharing amongst the table to kind of create an appetizer for ourselves.
yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I would never recommend going and getting one full roll, especially if
yourself.
it's a fusion roll or a burgushi roll, just for yourself, because that will fill you up, and then you're not going to eat any of your entree.
Yeah.
But I know we started with the Georgia roll. That was the first thing that came out, and
It had sashimi tuna, I think, on top, and then crispy. He's got the incredibly large poster.
Oh, we have
menu.
visual aids.
Yeah.
visual aids as I hide behind it right now
We're
for
so
all
high
of those
tech.
watching. The Georgia roll is very hard to find on this menu.
I hope we're not
The
doing this
Georgia
for
roll
every single
has
item.
tempura shrimp, connie inside, coated with tempura flakes, topped with tuna, eel, and sweet eel
say that.
sauce
I'm pretty
with
sure it
a
was eel.
side of spicy mayo. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. It was my
Yeah,
favorite item the entire night.
And I was saying, like, sometimes you get sushi at like theme park places. Like I liked it a lot. This is the best sushi I've had at a theme park place, but it was like really good sushi. Period. Like,
Yeah.
Totally agree. I ordered for the table the Taste Explosion roll, which is seasoned natural Angus ground beef, applewood bacon, jalapeno, spicy mayo inside, coated with tempura flakes, topped with Roma tomato, pepper jack cheese, then baked, and then drizzled with cashew cilantro pesto. So this was a burgushi item and had obviously no fish or seafood in it at all.
Right.
So that was our first dip into the burgushi element. Personally, I know the taste was a little off because of the pesto, but it's called Taste Explosion, and I felt like that's what it was
what
in your
happens.
mouth. It was a taste explosion.
It was a mixed review amongst the table. I liked it. Some people didn't like it.
I agree. I think a burgushi roll, if you're going to go to this place, is a must. Like, because it's I just think it's so cool. Like, even if you just do it as an appetizer, so you can get a taste of it. Like, it's neat. For this roll, I do agree. Like, I wish it had maybe been like a Thai chili sauce or something on top, because I didn't even realize there was jalapeno in it until you just read that, because I don't remember there being spice to it at all. But
there wasn't much.
I thought the pesto on top was a weird choice, but like they have a couple of those, right? Like different burger type rolls.
The most popular one is definitely the buffalo roll, and that has bison in the actual sushi roll. I mean, that I've tried that one before too, and it is out of this world.
Okay, I gotta try that.
And
one.
that has fried John Belushi meat in it.
Yes, John Belushi is actually cut up inside there. Rest in peace.
Ouch.
JL, let's go with your vegan.
Yeah, well, so I had the vegetarian roll because, as we discussed earlier, I was trying to eat vegetarian for this meal, and that had avocado, cucumber, and asparagus in it. And I have to tell you, it was the highlight of my dinner. It was very good. I think I ate all of it. I didn't share with you, Dustin, did I?
Yeah, I had a bite. It required soy sauce. I will say that.
I'm
was gonna say,
surprised that
shouldn't
I
share
shared.
with
I loved it. It was really good. I could have eaten 2 of them. In fact, I wish I had rather than my entree. We'll get to that later. But thumbs up on the vegetarian sushi roll for people that go to Cowfish that don't want to eat meat. This is a really great option for you.
Okay, so sushi, whether it's regular, fusion, or burgushi, I think we're all pretty much happy with what we got to taste.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I did want to bring up though the one misstep in the appetizer column for sure, and that was Pete ordered this French fry appetizer that looks very, very appealing whenever it comes to the
Truffle
table.
fries.
The truffle fries, except it's completely cold and just a nightmare. And I think this is
It came
something
on
that
the-
is happening
yeah.
all the time, because then you also got
I got
it
to
as
the
a side.
thinking like, oh, maybe these will be warm, because I liked. It's like what you said. When the bowl came out, I was like, can't wait to eat these.
Yeah,
and
no,
the
you
first
want to
thing you
dive
touch
in
them
when those
cold.
come out,
Yeah.
and then it just wasn't.
And-
But even
what it
then,
should
Same
be.
on
it
my
was
thing,
sitting.
too,
It
my
was
plate.
sitting in a window for a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think all the fries were basically cold. I think avoiding fries is probably
Yeah,
one of
because
the
that
better
happened on
things to
my
do here.
second trip too. And I just got regular fries this time. Same thing. They were. Yeah.
Avoid the fries. So for entrees, I believe I started out, well, I didn't start out with, I had the What's Shaken tuna bacon sandwich, and that is another one of the Brugushi items. It is a yellowfin tuna blackened with bacon, lettuce, jalapenos, salsa, slaw, spicy mayo, all served between the grilled spring roll wrapper buns, which are a mix of kani and sushi rice. And then it's a very interesting
Was there raw
sandwich.
fish on it at all, or was it all cooked through?
Well, I mean, it seared tuna,
So the outside's cooked.
yeah, just the outside seared. I love tuna done this way. The sandwich, I just wasn't able to really get distinct flavors from it, just because it was the kani rolls as the bun and then the tuna together. There wasn't that distinction. It was just all a very seafood blend in my mouth.
Yeah, when I went back early, that was the sandwich I had, and my presentation of that sandwich looked a lot different than yours. Like mine was too stacked to the point where like I couldn't squish it, so I couldn't get the sandwich in my mouth to eat it like a normal sandwich. So I ended up eating out of my hands almost like a cave person. But that time I like. And that's what I looked for specifically, because you were saying like all the stuff was kind of blended together. Yeah. But I don't know, maybe like it was a little bit better that day or something. But I do agree. Like I feel like as far as like the diversity in the sandwich, it was kind of like I feel like I should have went with the more adventurous that Philadelphia one.
Dustin, what did you have?
Well, I had the Raisin Swine Burger.
Yeah.
Now, this is what some people, from the Midwest or the South would have. It's got egg and cheese and ham and bacon, and it's a breakfast burger. It was pretty good. It was a little messy with the egg, but overall, I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yes.
Rhino, what did you have?
My actual meal was the Thundering Bison Burger with the fries. Like we said, the fries were cold. The Bison Burger was, it had sharp white cheddar, avocado salsa, lettuce, chipotle, aioli. Is that how we say it?
Aioli,
Red onion on a sesame seed bun. And like, it's there in the picture. When they said avocado salsa, I thought like, I don't know what I thought it was going to be drizzled. So there was a lot of avocado, which I have no issue with because I love avocado. I thought the burger was great. I thought it was going to have a little more going on as far as like things between the bun. That's a weird way to say that, but the burger itself was great. Like the bison meat was really good. It was really well cooked, and I don't eat like red meat that often, and so like this is probably one of like 5 burgers I'm going to have this year, and it was definitely worth it.
Good. JL?
Okay, before I say what I had, I just wanted to put it out there that surprisingly, the menu has a number of vegetarian items, and actually, aside from one of the items, they're all vegan as well. And the one that isn't vegan can be modified to be made vegan. That was a little bit shocking to me. I probably should have mentioned this in my pre-impressions. I wasn't expecting to have them to have much at a place called Cowfish, where it's all about meat and dead animals, but they did. So they have things like the Heavenly Veggie, which is a veggie burger, the Tree Hugger, which is shiitake mushrooms, fried portobello, blah 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 stuff in a dipping sauce. Then they've got their crinkle cut fried pickles and edamame and house salad. So there are a few items for non-meat eaters. I chose the Heavenly Veggie, which was the vegetarian burger, and the patty is made of red pepper, edamame, mushroom, brown rice, and quinoa, carrots, corn, and onion. That comes with roasted red peppers, sliced avocado, more red onion, baby spinach, and a 7-grain wheat bun. And I found it really bland. Unfortunately, that was a disappointment. I don't know that Cowfish can be blamed. Veggie burgers, I don't think, have a reputation for being exceptionally exciting. But I was kind of hoping that they would find a way around that, because everybody was getting these really adventurous meals, and they looked very exciting. And then I had my veggie burger, and it was, not anything worth talking about.
Well, but dessert actually was a pretty good end to the meal, at least. So we kind of ordered one of all 4 desserts that they actually do have. And we'll just quickly go through. We each tried a little bit of it, but I think we were all stuffed at that point.
Yeah.
They have the Yummy Roll, which is kind of like a sponge cake with a gummy bit in the middle and wrapped around with almond paste type stuff, and it's their version of sushi dessert, and it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a weird texture. It's like,
I wouldn't order.
I wouldn't want to eat that whole roll. Like the one piece you gave me, like I was like, that's enough. Thank you.
And then we also had on there the East-West cheesecake.
This was delicious. Like I'm just looking at the picture again, and I wish I could eat that again. Like it was really good light cheesecake. It wasn't too dense. I hate when cheesecake's like just this dense, like solid object. Like it was fluffy. All the flavors were there. The key lime wasn't overpowering, and like it was just really good.
It was key lime and orange.
And
right?
orange, yeah. And it was just a great blend.
Wonderful. And then JL, we don't know the exact name of the one you ordered, but it was like a sponge cake.
It was like a lemon pound cake with a berry compote on top, and then these little crunchy things. And it was good. But it was very lemony.
Yeah.
Being lemon pound cake, I guess it was what it was supposed to be. Yeah. So it was good. It was all right. Yeah. Not my favorite, but it's okay.
And then I think everyone's favorite dessert and their kind of signature dessert was the cookies and milk. And that is kind of like little special made cookies. And
they're kind of like whoopie pies.
Yes. Good, perfect description.
But they were very rich and very dense. So just be ready if you order that. It's a mouthful of fullness.
And it's served with ice cream, chocolate ice cream, and then also has that little cute side of chocolate milk.
Yes, and it comes in a little milk bottle, a little glass milk bottle. So
yours was
cute.
called the fresh berry tall cake, right? Is that what it is?
That's probably it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good description.
Yep. I think that is a good description. So just to kind of wrap things up here with this, overall, I will go back to Cowfish over and again. I hope the experiences get better. I won't let service get in the way. I liked our experience, although it was a little bit overlong, but overall, would you go back? I would.
Absolutely. Oh,
You have.
I want to like go there tonight.
Yeah, I would definitely go back. I would say, I wouldn't be going back. Well, I do want to try the tree hugger thing that I didn't get to, but, eating vegetarian, it's not something that you go for the excitement of the food, but just the excitement of the experience. It's a great place to be with people, regardless of what I was eating. The energy was awesome.
Dustin?
I would definitely go back there, probably more for the sushi than the burgers, to be honest with you.
Good. Well, I think that just about covers it for Cowfish as well as the show. So I believe that's going to do it for this episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. We'll be back next week with our 101 overview of Universal Studios Florida. So until then, see you later. Thanks for watching, listening, all that.